All right, and we are live with the rest of the Jupiverse. How's it going, everybody? We can see all the comments here in the chat over on YouTube as well as on Twitter. If you're on Discord, shout out to the cadets watching over there as well. Let us know where you're calling in from while we give people just another minute or so to come in. We will go. Also, we have a very cool new feature where we can now show comments up on the screen. So shout out to Hanko saying meow. Meow, you want to give the people a meow real quick?
Meow.
There we go. That's nice. Let's hide that. GM from Texas. We have the Zero Boys in the building right now. This is good. And we're going to get started here. So let us know where you're calling in from while we maximize the Juke for Juke vibes. While we start to drop some JMs aggressively. Drop a JM in the chat if you have not already. We got people coming in from the Philippines, from Nevada, from Super Team Nigeria in the building. Shout out to Zubi over here. People all over California. This is global. That's what I love most about it. We're gonna get going here. We're baking that pie, getting it ready here, and then in 3, 2, 1, we can officially kick this off, folks. Hello, and welcome to the Jupiter Planetary call. It is already April 24th, which is pretty wild. And I am excited. We have just a corker of a call today, I got to say. It's going to be a pretty good one. How you feeling going into this, Meow?
Amazing! I feel so great. I really feel great. I think so many things are going on now. And then, we just did a meta call last week and we concluded the LFG vote, and then we announced a bunch of stuff. And then, and this week, and then over the next 2 weeks, my favorite topic, my man, work groups. Right? It's
going to get real. So really we have a lot to cover. But before we cover that, we got to start the way that we always start, which is with the unofficial theme song for all of the Jupiverse.
Oh.
All right, doing some folks. The chat is always digging the song. It is always a blast. Folks, we got to set the energy right when we get started here. I am, of course, your host. My name is Cash Donda. I lead the Uplink working group along with some other great folks that bring you this call and a bunch of other content across the ecosystem. And I do some other things with Super Team as well. Really, we got to update this slide now. We got to get you on here as co-host because you are officially the co-host at this point. But
come
in
on,
case it is your first
no
time,
way, no one can. Nah, I don't deserve to be there. Come on, give me a break. Oh, come on.
Hold on. Just ask Josh here. Meow's a builder, loves the Jupiter community. That is a fact. All right, folks, we're gonna. In case you're new here, let me start off by setting a little context. This is the 10th one we've done. Has anyone come for all 10 of them? Can you drop a little W in the chat if you've been here for all 10? I would love to know where people or how long people have been coming around here for. But in case it is your first time, this is really a call to focus on the people and the products that make Jupiter great. There's a lot of stuff going on every week in the Jupiter ecosystem. This week is no exception, by the way. There's been a ton of stuff happening. And so we just created this call to make one easy place for you to get up to speed on everything that's happening across the entire Jupiter ecosystem. Very important to note, we're not going to be talking about token price. This is not a call to pump the token or anything else. Talk about that and get ejected very quickly from the chat. But otherwise, we want to see you in the chat. I see we already have a bunch of folks, including the legend Soju, the lady killer himself. Drop a little W in the chat for Soju as well.
Soju, the lady killer. Soju, the lady killer. Let's go.
Shuji made a meme, or I should say, I made a meme about Soju that will premiere next call that he is gonna absolutely hate. But everyone can look forward to that coming up. Anyway, all right, folks, we have a lot of stuff to do, so let's start getting into it. The agenda for today is as follows. We're going to run through the wins of the week as usual, talk about some of the good things that have happened. Then we'll get some working group updates. In fact, Meow, the one, the only, will be talking about a bunch of things about the future of working groups and introducing not one, not two, but 3 new working groups coming up. Then we will hear from the LFG winners.
Before that, real quick, we have to get 30 girls to talk to Shuju, right? This next big point. Okay, sorry, it's a compulsory announcement. Okay, yeah, sorry, go on.
If you see Soju go up to him, you should know he's in a happy relationship, has a girlfriend, but still, shout out to Soju's girlfriend, who I think also watches these. And Soju, please don't kill me. Meow said it, not me. All right, anyway, we'll have the LFG winners here. So we have the founders, or the co-founders, I should say, of both Upro and Sanctum coming up to talk about their communities and how you might be able to get involved. And then we have one of the best community builders in crypto, maybe in the world, Luca Net from Pudgy Penguins.
Luca Net, let's go, my man.
He has been a legend, and we're going to hear from him firsthand. And then we'll go into the Cadets corner with a fan favorite. May is on the call. I think May might be like the #1 fan favorite out here, as well as Vidi trades from the community as well. What was that?
May for president.
All right, we'll keep it moving. She is Meow's boss, as you guys will all quickly find. And then we'll stay around till the end. We're hoping to get this done in an hour. It might be a little bit longer because there's a lot to go through today. But if you can, stick around to the end and get that closing POAP. Best looking POAPs in the game. And that is a fact. All right, folks, we're going to get going right now with the wins of the week. And sorry, I just have to pause real quick to just show this chat right here. May for Empress of the Jupiverse. That is a fact. That is a fact. All right. So wins of the week, and we have a bunch of them, so I'm going to go fast. First and foremost, drop a little W in the chat. LFG round 2 in the books, record turnout. This number is crazy. 1/3 people showed up to vote on the LFG Launchpad candidates. I believe there were 6 of them, all great projects, but 2 rose to the top. But doesn't matter who you voted for. Can't say this enough. You should vote your heart, vote your conscience, because everyone who votes will be getting active staking rewards on a quarterly basis. So expect the next round.
You get to be part of the. You get to be part of the love. You know, yeah. You're part of it. You know, like because every vote is meaningful. Okay, guys, every vote is meaningful. Okay, so besides the active staking reward, you get to be like. Every vote is literally like a milestone in Jupiter history, right? You know, so you get to be part of that. That's cool, right? You know, you can look back with your grandchildren and be like, oh, I was part of that stuff, you know?
That's right. Be here now. Right now, it's 334,000. I don't know how big that number is going to get over time, but it's going to just keep going up, which is what we love to see. And speaking of the vote, shout out, by the way, to Dong, Andrew, of course, the legend Ben, and Soju, the lady killer, as well, for doing so much good work on that. But we got to give a special W in the chat here for Sanctum and Upro, the 2 winners of this LFG vote process. Both of them are going to be getting a bunch of love from you, the cadets, on this. They'll have a fully customizable launch pool, some nice consulting from the J.U.P team, who maybe knows token launches better than anybody else, enterprise level infra support, and much, much more. So you'll be hearing from the founders there very shortly, which is great. Meow already alluded to it. Win number 3. The meta acceleration strategy has been revealed. Give me a little W in the chat if you were with us last week as we did that live and in person. And I think it was my favorite call so far. There's going to be a bunch of great stuff coming out around this. In case you missed it, Meow, do you want to give like the 10-second version of what the meta acceleration strategy is real quick?
Yeah. Let's get there. Let's do it. Let's get to the meta. You know, yeah. That's it.
That's 2. It's even better. The meta is, of course, the kind of desired goal of where we're trying to push crypto across the Jupiter products and the Cadet community, a world where people are not just owning crypto, but actually using it. 3 Gs are essential to the strategy here. That's the Great Migration, which we're going to be powering with Jupiter Mobile. More on that in a bit. The giant unified market where every asset, whether it's Forex, real world assets, tokens, everything in one single state machine for critical markets and a critical amount of liquidity across those markets. And of course, the GDSE, the Global Decentralized Stock Exchange, which I'm personally excited for, to provide critical financing to projects all around the world and expand the scope of crypto generally. And to top it all off, we also announced last week the MAF, the Meta Acceleration Fund, 100 million J.U.P to help bring this to reality. I'll tell you, the Jupiter team, they move big. They don't mess around out here. It's only big things coming. Speaking of big things coming, Jupiter Mobile Beta coming soon. I know a lot of folks on Twitter and beyond were really excited about this. 1 click, 0 fees, coming your way. Big shout out to the new mobile team, as well as the team that's going to be working on this. The basic goal here, get to a critical mass of users, increase the pie and allow more people to start to trade and use things in a decentralized fashion in an experience that is every bit as good as anything else. And speaking of which, another major announcement here, Jupiter acquired Ultimate Wallet over the past week. Longtime Solana fans will know Ultimate. They've been building in the space for a long time. They had an excellent DeFi app, a wallet, dApp browser, and many things kind of really clearly focused on DeFi, very clearly focused on DeFi. And we're excited. The tech and the team are going to help turbocharge Jupiter Mobile going forward. So shout out to Omid and the Unstoppable
really
Finance
cool. I mean,
team.
it's actually really, really cool. Just a quick here things that I think Ultimate has been one of the apps that we admire for a long time. Definitely one of the best apps in the UX in DeFi, right? So I'm really happy to have worked with them, right, to acquire them, and go from there. I think it's fun. Yeah. So I also
James says he wants the mobile.
Yeah, and honestly, guys, throughout the whole process, they've been really good to work with. Like really understanding, really accommodating, like really understand the timelines, right? And then and the team has been amazing as well, right? And also it's really great. Yeah.
It's great to see. This is something I'm really excited about myself, and it seems like the community is as well over here. Let's go on next. In any other community, in any other project, this alone would be like the biggest one of the week. But here's another big one. J.U.P Sol is live now. It's a liquid staking token. We'll talk more about that in a little bit if you're not familiar with what that means. But it's going to represent Sol staked to the Jupiter validator specifically. And there's no other way to put it, in a massive flex, in a Chad move, Jupiter is going to be delegating 100,000 Sol from themselves to the validator, and then using those leads to enhance the APY for everyone else that stakes on the validator here. So if you are using J.U.P Sol, you'll have additional APY provided from that 100K Sol that's coming from Jupiter. This is just going to turn out to be a world killer. This is awesome. And a big shout out to the Sanctum and Triton teams for helping make this possible. Obviously a pretty large technical undertaking as well. And shout out to, who said this here, shout out to the Sanctum designer for the banger graphic, the Lisan Al-Gaib coming through. So FP, some love for your team over here. Okay, then we go on. More wins. Not done yet, folks. The Metropolis Part 1 is live.
So many wins.
Too many wins, man. We're drowning in wins over here, quite frankly.
So many wins.
Stressed up. Someone said, Meow looks tired. You'd be tired too if you were getting all these W's all week, man. T0 API for new tokens is live. That means any token is immediately available to trade and has a market on Jupiter. This is just a part of the ongoing promise of making sure that Jupiter is the best place to do all your DEX needs, all your decentralized finance needs in one place. And really critically here, this is probably my favorite part of this, a lot of cadets stepped up in Discord, provided a lot of feedback on how it could work better and how to make it all function. So shout out to Pierre, Dickinson, and Xiong over on the team side, and shout out to all the cadets on the other side for making it happen.
This one is such a pain, man. I was looking through everything with the team, and it's like really a lot of stuff to be done. It's like so many things to be done. I think I'm working in part 2. I'm working on Metropolis part 2 of the team now. And it's like endless number of details to figure out, to get right, to go through and stuff. Like I'm just saying, man, like it's great. Yeah, let's figure it out. Yeah.
It is quite a bit. And I see Vincent in the comments and got to know this from Luke Belmar. Shout out to Luke. Just had dinner with him the other night. Lovely guy. All right, folks, we have 1 or 2 last wins to do here. This is a big one. Speaking of Luke, speaking of the Capital Club, the first Jupiter DGen meetup was a massive success. 1,600 people showed out on, I don't know, just like a few days notice. It's really ridiculous. What is 3?
No, it's W.
Oh, it's just a W. Oh, W. W is with the cross fingers, like West Side, I think. But yeah, that works as well. West Side.
No, this is our W. This is our W. This is our W. Okay. Our W. Yeah. So we have cats.
42 countries represented here. And maybe the most impressive part of this is you can just see Meow's bulging pectorals and biceps out here as well, making it happen. It's always like this.
What the fuck, bro?
That's what the people really
What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that?
They like the community. They love the muscles. That's what they're really after.
Oh my god, that's unnecessary, bro. Come on, I feel violated now. Fuck, what the fuck, man? Bro,
imagine how Soju feels, dude.
Come on.
Shout out to Luke Belmar and the rest of the Capital Club community as well for kind of pairing up on this, I believe, with the Ton Foundation.
But honestly, it was so great. That meetup was so fun. Like we between me and Luke, we call it cats and glitches, right? Because Luke's community called like glitches, and we're called cats, so we call cats and glitches, Yeah, so it's our first like cats and glitches, and we did it with like Ton blockchain as well. So it was like a collaboration between it was a collaboration between like J.U.P, Luke, and also Ton, right? So it's cool, Yeah.
Love to see it. Different communities coming together, making everybody better. I love George's comment here from carrying the whole J.U.P community on his back. Now see how it's ripped. Obviously, a lot of people carrying the J.U.P community forward, including everyone on this call. So shout out to everybody as well. And May getting into the chat here. So Solana is quite funny, says May. That's good. Speaking of May, this one really got to me. This one hit me right in the heart here. No cats left behind. There was a number of community members that last January, unfortunately, had wallets either hacked or compromised or lacked access to them, but still wanted to participate in the J.U.P community and be a part of things and receive their rightful airdrops. So big shout out to May and the rest of the team who spent literally hundreds of hours reviewing, interviewing, verifying people's identities to resolve those disputes.
Legend. Like the amount of work that, hey guys, like if you're on Twitter, do a big shout out to May on Twitter, okay? Like 9-year-old intern, like I was astonished at how much she cared, the community and stuff. She can tell you later and stuff, but legend, okay? To May and all the mods, right? NOC, WTP, and everyone and stuff, like legend.
It is really something. This is, you can see May's Twitter handle right there in the chat. So please do go give her a shout out. This was a labor of love, folks. This was not required to do, but it was something that just felt right for the rest of the cadets to make happen. And I think that's really just shows, I think, the love of the community from the team. May for Empress. People saying May for President. I think May for Empress is the real move here. So we're going to hear more from May on how that happened at the end of the call.
Yeah, I think yeah, go on. Sorry, it's fine. Go on. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, we're about to move out of the wins and into the next section here, which is the working group updates. Which is so those were all the wins of the week, as you can imagine. That was a lot of stuff to get through. But I'm now very excited to get into the working group updates and hand the mic over to the man, the myth, the feline. Drop a little meow in the chat for the one and only meow himself.
Meow. Okay.
Meow, what do you have to say about the JWGs?
Okay, first of all, I love the work that the WGs are doing so far, right? I mean, this group is testament, right? Like this group itself is testament to the amount of like the importance of work groups, right? You know what I'm saying? To Jupiter, right? It's such a fundamental and integral part of Jupiter now, right? To come on every week, talk to everyone, bring all the partners in, right? And just have a call community, understand what's going on, right? And it won't happen without the uplink group, right? Whether it's Clouds or whether it's Cloud ZZZ, famous Cloud, or Sat, or Dr. PP, right? Or Srirani, right? There are many people who make this group work, right? So I think we can. I'm of course the CWG as well, right? They run the town halls, the AMAs, the RFG, and everything, right? CWG is like incredibly valuable, right, to the whole running of the ecosystem, right? So I feel like today we kick off a very important part of WGs. All right. The next set of WGs are going to be voted. Pawn. Right? J, let's go. J for J, let's go. Right. So it's actually really significant, right? Because the first two were groups, and the first three were groups like when is coming as well, right? The uplink group, when, and CWG, right? Like these are all people that I worked with before, right? Or I admired a lot, right? Like for example, Cash I didn't really know before that, but I've always been like, holy shit, Cash is amazing, right? And then like same thing with like Slog and Sam and Kimo, everyone, right? And other, right? I think, and obviously when is amazing and the memes, right? So I feel like these are all things that I think we really have a lot of like, I personally, right, have a lot of working relationship with or respect for, right? But this new set of work groups are going to be different, right? Because they're emergent, right? If you're part of a community, these are all people that you know, and you have worked with them. They've been through everything. So in some sense, they're emergent, right? That this new set of groups are emergent, and not based on my input, right? I think that's amazing, right? So I'll talk about that. But before that,
Decentralization.
but
That's
before
what
that,
it
real
is.
quick, sorry.
I said
Yeah.
decentralization
So,
in
but
practice. That's what it looks like.
yeah, it's gradual, right? You start off with a
Mhm.
model that you like, you think can work. You work through you work your ass off to make sure it works and stuff. And after you can actually, make it improve it, right? And anyway, so I want to give an overview on the whole idea of JWG, right? Jupyter work groups, right? Which is like decentralized work groups. First of all, guys, it's experimental, okay? It's an experiment. So work groups or decentralized work groups are experimental model in decentralized leadership, okay? It consists of small groups of highly competent ecosystem leaders working on a specific scope, okay? And these work groups actually need to work in deep synergy with the team and also other work groups as well, right? That's actually really, really important, right? Because ultimately, it's called a work group, right? AKA we need to do work, right? So I think for example, I think Cash will tell you that he works very closely at CWG, right? On stuff. So it's actually important that and I personally work extremely closely, with all the old groups. So this is not a grand model, okay? This actually requires tight-knit, cohesive, synergistic work over years. Because work groups are meant to last for years. Okay, critical, okay? It's actually very critical, all right? To actually last for years. That's actually very important, okay? And yeah, and as I mentioned before, current work groups are based on my own assessment, right, of the individuals. But this news that work groups are going to be, emergent leaders, as you shall see. Yeah, let's go. Next slide. Yeah, cool. All right. So just another overview real quick is that, as you guys know, the DAO is allocated 10 million USDC, right, and 100 million J.U.P, right? So that's the DAO funding, right? And then the WGs will be funded by the DAO, right? In that way, they are accountable to the community, right? Because they have to kind of talk to the community and talk to the DAO and stuff about what's working and what's going on, right? And that's actually a really important idea, because every year they have to do a accountability vote, right? And the CWG, because they're the first one, right? They're going to do accountability vote 6 months later, right? But we can expect other groups to do accountability votes yearly, right? Yeah. So I think it's actually really important, right? And then also another important thing about JWG is that the operational USDC, right, is funded by DAO, right? We have the USDC budget and the J.U.P allocation. Okay, two different things. The USDC budget is for operational budget, right? So you know how a lot of DAOs to give you tokens, so yeah, you have to sell the tokens to fund stuff, right? It's kind of like a weird relationship per se. So for JWG, we're very clear. You have the operational budget, right? For to pay for pays for whatever you do. It's a USDC, right? And the J.U.P is a larger token amount for alignment. Guys, in order for extremely talented, extremely awesome ecosystem leaders to kind of work for this thing, right, and make it great together and stuff, they need to be aligned, economically aligned, right? It's actually really important, right? I stand by that, right? I think it's the same thing for Jupiter, right? Except for airdrops. End of the day, the main thing is actually to create a model where your users and your community members are aligned, and ASR, right? So it all falls under the J4J category, okay? Where J4J, we get J.U.P into the hands or the paws, of people who actually contribute to J.U.P the most, right? So that's J4J, okay? Yeah, that's important. So that's a high level idea, right? For funding for JWGs. And so today I'm extremely happy to unveil the new trial J4Js. All right, these are not official yet. They're trials. Okay, but still pretty cool, right? So first of all, we're the Cadet working group, the Reddit working group, and the J.U.P Eco working group, and the web working group. Okay, yep. Next slide. There are three of them, and then yeah. So guys, this is the trial process. Okay, and I would like everyone to kind of like really really understand this trial process well. Okay, because it's gonna unfold. This trial process is gonna unfold. Okay, over the next 2 weeks, this week and next week. So this planetary call kicks off this whole trial work group process. Okay, and then over the next 2 days or 3 days, I'm gonna do town halls whereby I go through the proposals, interview. For example, I'm gonna do 3 separate interviews. Okay, the first interview is with the web working group. The second working group with the Reddit working group, and the third interview with the Cadet working group. Okay, I'll go through a proposal live. I'll interview everyone. I'll take questions live as well, right? And then based on the feedback, they have time for revision before the proposal. Okay, sounds good. All right, and then next Wednesday, and then next Wednesday. So there's some time between the town hall and also the actual vote, right? To actually revise their proposal. Okay, and then on Wednesday, Wednesday, right? They'll all do a presentation. Okay, on Planetary call. So they will get a good time to come on and to share on the Planetary call how they're working on and what they're working on, what the working group is about, and everything, right? And Thursday, the DAO will vote for the trial work group. Yeah, next Thursday. Okay, next Thursday or Friday, but the trial work group vote will be up. Okay, for the trial there's no J.U.P. It's just USDC, right? So they're requesting a 3 to 6 months, I think 3 months, right? I'm not sure. Budget to work on stuff, and then for 3 months, right? So in some sense this vote is to establish as a trial work group, and then after the trial they can actually apply to be a full work group. Okay,
pretty amazing. Yeah,
cool. All right. What's that?
I really love this approach of kind of like, walk before you run. So like there's plenty of time for the community to hear from these working groups, understand what they're doing, maybe raise their hand and try to contribute as well. And then they have some operational budgets so they're able to kind of prove their value to the rest of the community. And then assuming that goes well, then they actually get finalized into a full-time.
Yeah, precisely, right? So I feel like it's actually really important. I feel like it's actually really, really important to have the budget, to have that doesn't the USDC and J.U.P budget, right? So J.U.P is the USDC will be for alignment, right? On Thursday or Friday, we'll be voting to actually for the budget for the trial work group, right? And after that, there'll be 3 or 6 months, and then when the work group is comfortable, they can submit a full proposal, right? To become a full work group, right? With longer term, like yearly, with a yearly budget and the 4-year J.U.P allocation. Okay, cool, right? And guess what? I mean, for example, Uplink will be probably going for vote soon, right? Which is pretty exciting. Yeah, right.
Remember me, my friends. Remember me when the vote comes up. I remember that vote's great.
I mean, how can you? Got the face, man. How can you not love the face? Holy shit! I'm saying the guy.
But folks, make sure you come back to the Planetary call next week. You'll be able to hear straight from the working groups themselves about what they want to accomplish, why they're well suited for the work they're going to do, and answer your questions live here on this call. And over the next few days, make sure to come into those meow. Make sure to come to the meow interviews. I believe these times are the 25th of April, which is, what is that? That's tomorrow, 12:30 p.m. UTC. The J.U.P.eco working group is going to come up, then the Reddit working group the next day, and then we'll get the Cadet working group shortly thereafter. We have a lot of great working groups to come.
Yeah, I mean, so really the whole point here is that I think that the J.U.P working group, the web working group, is actually to help because guys, you can talk about DAO and community all you want, okay? But if people cannot get information, it is not a DAO or not a community. Okay, cool. So the web working group will aim to play a critical role, right? In kind of making sure that both the space station and the J.U.P.eco, right, is constantly updated. All right. So anyone can easily go to these things, and it's actually to kind of get stuff done, right? And to know what's going on. So extremely critical role, right? The Reddit working group, right, we aim to foster, empower a thriving community on Reddit. As you know, honestly, guys, Reddit is a whole different universe, right? I think a lot of Twitter people, a lot of crypto people live on Twitter, right? But Reddit is a different beast altogether. Okay, Ken? All right, so the Reddit working group will aim to kind of like establish Jupiter, right, in that part of the universe that we are not very sure about, because Jupiter needs to be everywhere, right? Eventually, right? So that's the idea. And last but not least, stuff like the Cadet working group, right? Crowd favorite, fan favorite, right? Like these are all made up of people who have been tirelessly and selflessly contributing to Jupiter, right? For like months now, right? And they also, and honestly, guys, I'm telling you from the soul of my heart, right? Remember the initial period for J.U.P was rough, really rough, right? and without the support of like the core people, the cadets and the culture, I don't know how I survived it. I don't know how I survived it, right? No, so big shout out to them, right? And then they'll be looking inside a work group to further grow the cadet culture. Yay, let's go, right?
Yeah. And breaking news here, breaking news. We have officially a time for the Cadet working group session as well. That's the 26th of April at 2:30 a.m. UTC. I think Soju just edited that live on the call. So if you want to learn more about that or how to get involved, just head to any of those town halls.
Wow, it's gonna be it's gonna be a packed time for me, man. I'm just gonna be like talking for like 2 days.
Sleep is for the weak, Meow. You'll do just fine. But speaking of
to the moon,
speaking of killer working groups, and speaking of adding lots of value to the community here, we want to now transition a little bit to hear from the core working group themselves, the CWG. So let me bring up on the stage Mr. Kimo Sabi, the silkiest voiced motherfucker in the planet.
Can I just wrap up the section real quick? To say that, like, I'm really grateful for the to the current work groups for everything they've done. Okay, like amazing, right? I'm extremely excited for the current work groups. Yeah, that's it. I think we're pioneering a new model here. Okay, a new way to properly align, incentivize, and work together and synergize. Right? You know, so I'm excited to do together everyone. Yeah, fun.
If you're excited as well, drop a little J4J. Make sure to come to those town halls over in the Jupiter Discord. Discord.gg/Jup. But with that said, let's talk about the original working group, the first one that ever happened here, which is, of course, the CWG themselves. We have the most famous slug in the known multiverse. I forget what we said last time, but that's about as big as we can get. And Kimo Sabe. Gents, how you guys doing today?
Doing good. Doing very good.
Feeling good after 300,000 plus people voted in the LFG Launchpad. Not surprising. So what can you tell us about how the vote, what can you tell the community about how the vote went?
Yeah, so just a quick recap. Sanctum came in first place with Upro placing second. So those will be our two launch partners over the next month or so. Participation rate just blew every other vote out of the water. 230 million stake J.U.P was used to cast a vote. I think the second highest ever was 200 million. So it's definitely on an uptrend there. This round, we implemented a little bit of feedback. We went through a process last time where we solicited feedback through a forum post and a town hall. And that was mostly around UX changes, which we did successfully implement. So now it's much clearer who you voted for and the fact that you voted at all. Those were two common requests made by the community. Also, there's a direct link now to the governance site from the main site, another community request which was successfully implemented. And we sort of repeated this process for this round as well. So we had the feedback town hall last week. We have the forum post, which is up right now. You can go to it through the working group announcements channel, or you can just browse the forum and find it manually that way. But yeah, regarding some feedback in round two, Kimo, do you want to cover some of what we're thinking right now?
Yeah, totally. So we're in the process of collecting and aggregating all of the feedback, not only from catdets, but also from the candidates themselves. I got up very early this morning to hop on a call with Sourceful, and we were on a call with Monkey Ducks yesterday. Last night, very late. So if you have any points or feedback items from the this prior round, please feel free to jump over to the forum and throw those down there, and we'll sort of integrate those into the process. Additionally, we got a bunch of feedback during last week's town hall, and we have a bunch of items. I'll mention some of them today, and then we'll mention more of those in the upcoming town halls with the core working group. So first and foremost, we want to create a candidate guidelines process for best practices before they're introduced as candidates, so that they can effectively create a meaningful forum post or application that is very clear for every cadet, and then we can aggregate information there and make it more accessible for everybody. So this is like a meaningful guidelines and formatting, so that there is a more congruent presentation of all of their good stuff. And then additionally, when we want more clarity to be presented around ASR versus airdrops, bonus airdrops at the launch, I think that's deeply important. There's a lot of confusion around what is ASR, what is an airdrop. Some people found it slightly confusing that bonuses were done on the Jupiter site itself. So we're looking at potential other UI changes and all sorts of other implementations there so that it's extremely clear. Additionally, J.U.P.eco and I are working on a meaningful explainer of ASR that will likely be posted on the station. Also, I'm going to hire an editor for the AMAs because my apologies, those have been slow. Would like to speed up the process there. Also, Uplink might handle it, one of the two. Additionally, we're going to add a visual countdown timer until the vote ends on the voting page so that everybody knows when it's going to happen and when it's going to end. And then we're also considering, instead of having 6 candidates with 2 winners, bringing it down to 4 candidates with 1 winner. This is because there is 6 people. It's a lot of people, or 6 projects. It's a lot of people to pay attention to. We feel that there's a more intimate process that can be had there, and then also more attention can be paid to the launch project. We don't want anybody feeling like they're playing second fiddle. So that means that the project that we launch sort of gets all the attention at any given time.
Do you think I could say something on that really quick?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So if that's successfully implemented, that would be the major change for this round. And in regards to major changes, we're not trying to do more than one major change to the functionality of the process per round, just because it sort of confuses like the effect of which change had what effect, right? So just one major change per round, but we have a bunch of UX and educational changes as well that Kimo will continue going over.
Yeah. Additionally, other voters have expressed interest in alternate ways to be alerted in the case of the vote. Something like a Twitter that only announces votes is sort of the top contender. We've also been exploring, email systems and text notification systems. However, the Twitter is the least leaky, at least in our eyes, in terms of safety. So that is probably the first thing we'll pursue. Additionally, some people have expressed that while everyone should be able to read the Discord forum post for candidates, perhaps only actual stake Jupiter holders can write and contribute to the conversation there, maybe catdets and cats of culture as well. And then we're going to be adding a specific role to candidates in the Discord because then, easier to ping them and ask them questions and all that good stuff. We're also on the J.U.P.eco site going to have a sort of DAO calendar. Ideally, this is up before the next vote, but that's quite soon. The next introductions. It'll definitely be up before the next vote. So the idea there is sort of having a vote calendar as well as town hall calendar, so that you can just click a button and get a calendar, Google Calendar or whatever your preference for calendar is, notification. And then finally, on the top of the voting website, we want to make sure that people realize that whoever you vote for does not impact your ASR reward allocation. It's deeply important. No matter who you vote for on any of these votes, you're going to get the same ASR rewards. And that is about that as far as LFG process changes go.
Oh, is that all? Oh, no, it's not all. Okay, there's even more. Keep going, Slorg.
No, I was just going to say, so those are the main things we're considering. We'll come out with a finalized list after this weekend. But also feel free to continue contributing to the forum post, which is still live, and we'll read everything there.
It's a lot of stuff. That's a lot of stuff. You can tell these boys are working over here to integrate feedback from the community and make this a better experience for everybody, for the candidates, to the cadets, to the overall J.U.P community. We love to see it. Shout out. Meow is showing something on the camera. It's too small for me to see. What does that say?
My coffee. Someone sent me coffee. So I'm having coffee. Lots of people saying coffee. So
Steve says Meow needs coffee, and he has got you with a little espresso glass as well.
I have my massive cup of coffee.
Everyone who sees Kimo is like, what the fuck? That mustache, what the fuck? Yeah, so it's fine.
A lot of love for the mustache. A lot of love for the slug as well. Guys, thanks so much. Thanks so much for a lot of love for you to grow a mustache as well, Meow. If you think Meow should grow a mustache, drop a little W in the chat right now, and he will have to do it if 10 people say it. legally
genetically
you'll have
incapable.
to do it. Get a Sharpie and just draw it in or something. Then we'll figure that out. But anyway, all right. So thank you so much, Chemo and Slorg. Everyone here, you can join the conversation. Go check out the J.U.P Research Forum for more information on some of the changes that are coming. And of course, if you haven't already joined the Discord, what are you doing? Go join the Discord. Get involved with all the candidates. Thank you guys so much for coming on and for all the work that you do. All right. With that said, let's keep the good times rolling here. We have now finished off wins of the week and the working group updates. We're now going to talk to the LFG winners, Sanctum and Upro, and then, of course, the legend Luca Nets from Pudgy Penguins, and then Cadets Corner at the end. Do not go anywhere. I know we're running a little bit behind, but such is life here. So let's go now and talk about these LFG winners. The first one is, of course, Sanctum. I've said it before. I'm going to say it again. Stake your goddamn soul, folks. If you are staking and you want to actually use your soul still, maybe in DeFi as collateral for a loan, for example, you're going to need something called a liquid staking token, an LST. Right now, there are probably a dozen popular LSTs. Obviously, J.U.P Soul, which we talked about earlier, is an LST. But Sanctum is creating a future where anyone can launch an LST and get liquidity for it, whether you have a validator, NFT project, or anything else at all. On top of this kind of what I would call a noble mission, they've also already seen a bunch of traction. $750 million in trading volume, more than 2 million SOL in TVL. And if that wasn't enough, they have 1 million SOL in TVL in their flagship Infinity Pool, which I'm sure we'll hear a little bit about right now. Drop an LST in the chat for the co-founder of Sanctum, Mr. FP Lee. FP, how you doing? Blown away by the intro, it seems. Unable to speak at the quality of that intro. FP, you with us, my friend? You are muted right now.
I'm muted.
He is a little cloud wonderland that people want to see him and want to hear from him. Give him in 3, 2, 1. A little shy on stage.
Hello?
It
Can you
seems.
guys hear me?
There we
Wait,
go.
I
FP.
can't
We can
hear you
you,
guys.
but we can't see
Shit.
you.
1 sec.
It's all good. FP actually has a handheld microphone because, little known fact, he's also a freestyle battle rapper. And maybe if people ask nicely in the chat, he might do a little freestyle rap for us as well. We'll find out.
No way, seriously? He's a freestyle battle rapper? Holy
No,
shit.
he's not. I just made that up.
He's also really fucking good at calisthenics, by the way, you know? Right, you guys, yeah, seriously, you know, right? FP, you should do a battle rap while doing calisthenics. I'm telling you. Do it.
Sorry,
for
I
the
can't
win,
hear you guys.
okay?
I need to. Maybe I need to come back. Oh. Shit.
All right. Well, we're going to give FP a little second to do the technical difficulties here. Folks, we do this live, as you can tell. And we have thousands, if not tens of thousands of people watching as we wait for him to come back. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll give him just a few seconds here.
Yeah,
and there he is.
You want to go to Upro first?
Okay, I'm back. I'm back.
Yeah,
I'm
okay.
back. I'm back.
There you go. Can you hear us now, FP?
Yeah, I can hear you guys. The mic was working perfectly, and then it chose the exact moment to cut out. Yeah, can you guys hear me all right?
Been there, my friend.
Okay.
Been there.
Oh,
No
he's gonna
problems
rap.
at
He's
all.
gonna rap. He's gonna rap.
What you didn't hear
Okay,
was
sorry,
my
let's
fake
go,
news about you being a battle rapper. But tell us, FP, obviously you guys are building an infinite LST future. Would love to hear about what you've kind of learned through the process. And in particular, since this is a call about community building, can you talk a little bit about what you've learned from Jupiter around your approach to community?
I think every day I'm just looking at Jupiter and I'm just in awe, right? It's just like it's crazy. Like honestly, like I'm not just saying this because we're on the show, right? But it's like does any other protocol on Solana or on crypto hold these like weekly calls, right? And have working groups? It's like the thing that really impresses me is that, you know, every project is talking about community, right? But like there is no project in the world that is really empowering its community, right? There is no project which is like, oh, here's 100 million J.U.P, you know, go and fucking, you know, ship shit. You know, that is like incredible to me, and I think it takes a lot of like ambition, right? Ambition to know like we're not just building a protocol, we're just gonna change the fucking world, right? And we need everyone, and it takes a lot of, I think, humility as well, which is to know like, okay, I can't do this myself, I can't do this with only the people that, you know, that are in my immediate circle. I need to go and find top tier talent from all over the world, right? So this is something I am really sort of taking notes on. Yeah.
That's what we love to hear. So
the
maybe
key
you
is
can
all
tell
over the world, man. Guys, the key is all over the world, right? It's like, I mean, I spent a lot of time in the Valley, right, and New York and stuff, right, and I feel like one thing that I noticed is that like there's so many people all over the world, right, who are just as good as like people who are like there's the legends here, right, everywhere, right. So I feel like it's actually really important to like just empower everyone all over the world, right, wherever you are, right. And actually, here's the thing: crypto allows you to do that. Okay, there's no other industry that's as meritocratic, right, as crypto, right? You know, right? And so find communities that are open, and join them, do stuff, right, with them, right? That's what I would say. It's amazing. Sorry, I feel I got carried away. Go on. Sorry.
No, I mean, you're absolutely right. Like, because obviously we know both of our teams are based in Singapore, we're based in Malaysia, right? So we're sort of Southeast Asian team. But yeah, I mean, like we hire all over the world, and it's not just the US that has I think, you know, for a long time, you know, so Web 2 is almost always synonymous with sort of like Silicon Valley in California. And, you know, with this crypto, you know, like we have this great opportunity to really sort of make, you know, like everybody to participate in this like crazy new sort of, you know, new wave, right, of Web3. I think like that should not be understated. Yeah. The other thing I will say is like I think token is obviously like super exciting. I mean, but it's not just the money, right? It's like somehow like I need some time to sort of like put these thoughts together in a legible way. But the idea I think is that, you know, with a token you unite everybody all around the world, right? And if they want to join, all they need to do is a J.U.P swap, right? Or you know, and now they're part of it, right? Like you see, nobody here, you know, has to be hired, or they don't have to go through any KYC, or if they want to participate, they'll participate, right? And they can just do it like this. I think that will allow us to really build, you know, like a global talent and bring together global talent in a way that Web 2 never could. So that's something I love as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I think, you know, talent is evenly distributed and opportunity is not. And communities like Jupiter and Sanctum are helping to kind of solve that gap and bring more talent on board. Can you tell us a little bit about your community? What do you call your community members and maybe what makes them special?
We're still working on this, right? So, you know, our community, you know, we call them the cloud men, right? Because, you know, our logo is a cloud and so on. We're still cloud man. I don't know. Maybe it's a silly name, but so, you know, we're learning a lot. But I have really been floored by the amount of people who are just stepping up already, right? I mean, obviously, you know, we haven't launched a token yet, but people are already stepping up and really, you know, answering questions on Discord or writing threads or just giving suggestions, and these people really care, right? I mean, of course, like, you know, they're not, you know, it's not about altruism, right? It's like, you know, people want to sort of participate because, you know, there will be a token and so on, like, but nonetheless, right? Like this is like, I would say, enlightened self-interest. This is like, I am really excited about, you know, what you guys are building, right? And I want to sort of be part of it. And I like am just been floored by the support and the, you know, just people all come, and I'm just like, so I feel so privileged and I feel so lucky. Yeah.
It's pretty great. So you mentioned people might be helping by kind of spreading the word, maybe answering support tickets. Are there any other ways that community members are contributing back to the protocol and kind of Sanctum's long-term success?
I think I got like a lot of advice, right? So like, I mean, answering questions, but people come up to me with like unsolicited. I don't mean this in a bad way, right? It's like you know, unsolicited doesn't mean bad. Sometimes it's bad, but you know, unsolicited advice about like, hey, like, you know, I thought about this. What do you think about, like, oh, you know, what about this LST? Would that work? Or like, how does this work, right? And when people get excited about understanding, and then when they try and give suggestions about, oh, there could be this LST or that LST or that LST, like I get like super excited, because it means that you got it. You understand like the potential of this infinite LST.
I mean, so guys, I'm so the thing I'm impressed at Sanctum about is that like, when I first met him, like honestly, when I first met FP, right, started talking about these things and stuff, it's like LST was confusing to people, right? The idea of like the fact that you can have many LSTs is confusing, right? But now it's like Jupso, Bongso, Dripso. It's almost like a thing that we do already, right? And we don't even think about it, right? You know, and partly I think and I would say partly it's because Jupiter makes it easy to go from A to B, right? Right?
Mm-hmm.
But I also say that I think Sanctum actually did a really big job here, right? In pushing the idea of like the world of infinite NFTs, right? And I'm really proud of them for that. Yeah.
As am I. So, FP, I know one question on a lot of people's mind. Obviously, the Cadets community is huge, diehard on Solana, diehard on crypto. Is there maybe like one thing that people watching this, some of the Cadets who maybe want to join the Sanctum community could do, or kind of like what is the next step that they could take to become a cloud man?
Well, everyone is most welcome, right? I think J.U.P Soul is like the easiest way to sort of come in, right? It's Jupiter, it's Sanctum, right? So if you hold Soul, right, hold J.U.P Soul, right? I mean, I would love for you to hold all of them, not just J.U.P Soul, but I think as in particular, J.U.P Soul, because everyone here is from Jupiter. And then I think like try and understand, like everybody like. Like it's tricky, right? Because like 2 months ago, people didn't believe in this infinite LSD future. People like, oh, like, isn't it going to be winner take all? And like, why do we need so many LSDs and so on? And now people are starting little by little to get it. And I think if you can take your time out of your day to understand what we're doing and why it's cool, like that would be like, thank you so much, right? Like that is the thing that excites me the most, when people understand our vision, and then we can work for it together. Yeah. So I mean, right now, right, like there is this Discord, Telegram stuff, but very soon I'm going to be releasing like tokenomics, right? Like, or like not like a finalized tokenomics, but I want to work with, as I promised, I want to work with the Jupiter community and the Sanctum community.
Yeah, big promise that, bro.
Yeah, maybe it was a mistake. Yeah. But I don't think.
I feel like I'm really excited to have you release an initial draft based on what you understand, right? And actively work with the community, right, to iterate on it, right? Because I feel like that is going to be so important for trust, right? Yes. I think one of the things that I did a lot on in the for the Jupiter airdrop is that I think I took time to listen first. And then I took time to draft a proposal, and then we took time to like to listen and iterate and have a final one. And it wasn't even the final one wasn't perfect, but I think honestly, without the 2 cycles of consultation, right, it would have been much harder, much more worse, right? So I'm very excited. I'm actually extremely excited to see you guys being open as well, right? Right, and yeah, I feel like it's actually really important. I mean, that's the reason why this week's topic is like community, right? And we're gonna hear from Duka later as well, about like how to about how it goes community, right? But I think a really big deal here that I'm personally very excited to participate in as a community member and a second as a J.U.P holder, right? Is this topic, Yeah, I think it'll be fun. Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is a great opportunity for everybody to come in like at the ground level, right? We're building the token together, we're launching it together, right? So please give me your thoughts. Yeah.
And we learn things together. It's like, guys, if we are part of the process of helping working through the Sanctum tokenomics, right? Then we are part of the process, right? It's not just airdrop, blah blah blah. No. It's we did together. Right, it's not like so it becomes like a team problem, right? To a community thing. And one thing I really want to do for crypto, right, is that I really want to merge the idea of team and community, because it's kind of stupid because the team is a community too, right? And the community, it's kind of stupid that disparity is kind of stupid, right? So I think I congratulate I'm very proud of FP for like taking the step, to kind of have a community centric airdrop process from day one. I'm hoping that, hoping it will. Let's go. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, we're very excited. I know a lot of folks in the comments and the chat are excited. Drop a little W if you can't wait for Sanctum to launch. Go get involved over on their Discord. Become a cloud man today, whether it's helping spread the good word, explaining LSTs, helping on the tokenomics side, or any other kind of contributions you can make. FP, thanks so much for coming on.
So no battle rap next time.
No battle rap then, FP? I think that's a no on the battle rap. To be super clear, I made that up 100%. I spread fake news. I'm not a journalist. I can do whatever the fuck I want. And in this case, I made up that he was a battle rapper, hoping that he was, but no luck. Anyway, moving right along, we're gonna go now. I want to talk. We're gonna talk to the second winner of the LFG Launchpad here. We have, of course, Upro. And what I think is really cool about Upro is, well, first of all, persistence. If you don't succeed at first, try again. They were close in the first round of LFG voting, didn't quite make it, but they came back even stronger with an even more committed community the second round, and now they are officially on the LFG Launchpad. For anyone who has not already seen them, Uprock is a DPIN project that lets you use your spare bandwidth to start earning right from your mobile device. And this is pretty important, right? Because most of the world uses mobile, and that's where their focus is. So by sharing your bandwidth, you're enabling other projects to safely and securely use that bandwidth to scrape the web, which is essential for a bunch of use cases that Jesse's going to talk about in a second. And as far as traction, 200,000 daily active users right now are using Uprock, which is fantastic for any app, let alone a crypto app. So this is really something. Drop a little LFG in the chat for Jesse from Uprock. Jesse, how you doing, my man?
Hey guys. Doing great.
Last time we met Jesse, Jesse and I had breakfast just 2 days ago. He had these lovely heart-shaped glasses. I was hoping you'd wear them today, but all is good. Maybe to start off, Jesse, can you tell the folks a little bit? Oh, he has them right at hand, folks. Right at hand. Nice.
I have love for the
Jesse,
community, so I'm going to have to wear them now. Yeah.
Hearts in his eyes at all times. Speaking of the community, Jesse, what do you call your community, and what can you tell the people about what makes your community special?
Well, we call them the Uprockers. First of all, I just want to say thank you guys. Like, I really appreciate the opportunity. This has been so exciting. Like, the first round was amazing. Second round was even more amazing. So I just want to say thank you guys first. Like, it's been incredible. The Jupiter community as well. Like, the questions, like, you guys really do set the gold standard for Launchpad. Even myself, I personally participated in past Launchpads and other companies, you know? And it's like a static page. It just says farm your token, and they don't explain much, and you kind of want to know more about the project. So setting the tone, where in the beginning it was like, we interviewed the founder, let's learn about the services, and then you had a forum, and people like ask a ton of tough questions. It like, and you know, like even like when someone asks for tokenomics, like putting a pie chart, like that doesn't fly. That's just your cap table, you know. Like people in this community want more than that, and so we want to deliver and over communicate. And so I think it's just been really good. So I just want to say that first. Like it's been a really great experience overall. Uprock community has been there with us again. They're really strong. I was going to echo what Sanctum said earlier too. What really gets us excited is as we're going through this process, we'll start to see people like answer for us in Discord. The community will talk about us in the forum, or I'll see like long posts on X, and I'm like, oh man, that guy gets it. Like it's a really thoughtful like 5 or 6 thread to post, and that's really, like we share those as a team, and so that's what really gets us excited. Like people are really paying attention, getting to know the product, getting to know us, the founders and their services. Talk about really like they're reading everything and they're looking at the comments. So that's just amazing.
That's great to see. I know that the Uprockers are rapidly engaged. I can see them here in the chat. Shout out to all the Uprockers here. Yeah. I see them in my Twitter mentions at all times. I think you guys had like 2,000 comments or something crazy like that within Discord from people from the community. Yeah. Can you talk a little bit about what kind of keeps your community so engaged and activated, and what do you guys do to make sure that the community is involved at all times?
Oh, well, one is I think, what we love about the Web3 way, it's that you take the full vision, take full potential and harness full potential of DPIN. It's all about the community. Like if you think about why DPIN is amazing, why some people believe like if you say stable coins is one of the best use cases of crypto and DPIN maybe is a strong second, it's because it's so rewarding instantly day one. If it's like, if you want to, Web2, if you want to make a reward program in the past, that's worldwide. What do you have to do? You have to think about, maybe we accept credit cards in the US, PayPal over here, maybe Alipay in China, maybe this payment in this, maybe Africa, we have to use this bank. That's like a global reward program. In this case, you use crypto, it's like global day zero. That's what's awesome. So you have a lot of people participating and they're really excited. We automate a wallet for you. So what's really cool about our community is a lot of them are not crypto first. So you can see it in our app store comments, like the play, you'll see like, people ask, and even in the first round, some people took 2 days to figure out how to vote. Like how do you get J.U.P? How do you get J.U.P? Like how do you make it? All that stuff. And the second round was a lot better. You guys had a link to explain how to vote, so that was great. But so us being able to just onboard a bunch of people was a pretty awesome experience because we personally do this for our friends. I probably do like a crypto crash course for my friends like once a week at least. And so we're doing it on a mass scale now through the forums and Discord. So that's been great. So I think kind of a mix of the community helping each other. Like it's very positive, encouraging. You can see, like someone doesn't get something, while when I'm sleeping, someone will actually respond to them, not just the team. The community will help out. You know.
That's great stuff to see. I think onboarding the masses is one of the major use cases of Deepin, and is obviously a big part of the kind of Jupiter mission in general to get more people in crypto. What were you going to say, Meow?
Yeah.
Oh, no, just think that I was impressed by Uprock's persistence and stuff. Obviously, the first one they didn't go win. Second one they won and stuff, right? It's actually really good. And then it's also really fun to see the Upro community being engaged on Discord and on Twitter and on the Planetary call, right? And also, UPT all the way. Let's go.
UPT. There we go. Speaking of all the way here, Jesse, I know you had a few ideas coming for your roadmap up here. What can you tell the folks about what is coming up next for you guys?
Yeah, so we're gonna have we're shipping new updates on Android every week. We have almost an installer getting 10,000 per day. It's starting to increase with every new announcement, and this obviously with this a big win. iOS is coming. The launch is May the 4th be with us. Hopefully it gets out and gets approved by Apple on that date. That'd be an awesome win. And then we're gonna have obviously when we cross-platform. We're on Mac today. We're gonna get Linux and Windows soon. We did launch a country ambassador program. So speaking of more about the community, is global. So we want to be able to localize our apps and get community support in every country. And we already have a bunch of those channels in Discord, but we want to reflect that in the app itself, so that we can actually have people be able to translate it and really be able to talk about it more. So if you guys are interested to join the kind of global ambassadors program, country ambassador program, represent your country, please go to uprock.com. You can see there. Also, you can go to our X and our Discord, our Telegram. We mentioned how to do that there too.
Fantastic. And what can you tell the people about the Pioneer Deepin DAO?
Yeah, so again, part of that community, it's like I think the Web3 way is you can't just say, you can't consider everyone as a competitor and just be there and bitter. We've seen companies do that and just focus on themselves. Like, I'm not going to pay attention to anyone. We're going to do our own thing. That is not how you do it in crypto. We actually partner with a lot of people that other side would consider our competitors. We don't think of it that way. Our competitors are the centralized Googles of the world. And so Pioneers represents that philosophy. And we do business rev share with some of these projects. That's amazing. It's like multiplying our sales and marketing team. There's a lot of things that we do that they can't, and vice versa. So that's what Pioneers is about. We're going to throw some great events. It is a mobile first. We represent mobile first, but the other projects do desktop Deepins. We just want to harness the full potential of Deepin to onboard as many people as possible, and that's what Pioneers is about. Plus, it also has a cat, maybe not as cute as yours is, but it does have a cowboy hat on it.
That's a good start.
I mean, it's getting late, but I also by saying that I think it's an interesting point, right? It's like I never really thought of it, but Deepin could actually be one way to bring more people into crypto, right? Right? Yeah, like by offering people with access to resources and stuff. I actually haven't thought of that before, so it's good to hear that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is the power of it, because everyone has a mobile phone device. I mean, this is the point. Like, I think what resonates with how we first got started. Everyone's heard the story. Data is worth more than oil now. We've all heard that story somewhere, and it's like cool. Yeah, but what can you do about it? Well, we just made that so simple to actually tap into that data gold mine and actually earn some for yourself back. Because like this world's coming, like everyone needs real-time data. AI is coming and you need data. And so how do you participate in that world that's coming soon? So I think this is a more equitable way of doing it. It's more empowering. It's actually helps people on. It's instantly fun because it's rewarding, and it's global because it's crypto. So yeah, that's why I think everyone's excited about this being a really one of the best use cases for onboarding new people. And like I said, our biggest distribution is not is through the Play stores, the app stores, through the mainstream distribution. So it's showing right there.
That's what we like to see, folks. Go get involved in the Uprocker community yourself.
Someone said that. Someone said that. Someone in the comments said that like they're onboarding grandmothers with Upro. I mean, like, whoa, okay, that's cool. I mean, I'm still at the
Okay.
I'm still on board mothers. You're onboarding grandmothers. Man, good job, good job. Let's go.
That's what I like to say.
Gosh, man, I want to say,
Actually,
I just want to say
you
one
got your
thing
new
about
meme, man. You got your new meme. You got your new
Yeah,
meme,
yeah.
bro. You got your new meme right there,
Thank you.
man. Rock onboarding
I
grandmas.
love it. I'm here for
Right,
I'm here for all of it.
right. That's
Yeah,
your
yeah,
new meme. You can thank Jaka for it.
Yeah, Akash, I want to add just one quick note about the TGE thing. We're gonna say, like, we've been watching the past two and learning from the mistakes and all that. We're gonna just say we're gonna promise that we will over communicate everything really far in advance. I mean, a lot of people have questions on the rewards part. I mean, specifically that a lot. We're gonna make sure there's gonna be one page you can go to, and it'll be very simple. And even when we tweet about or post about it, it's not if we instructions are so long that you have to expand the post, then we fucked up. It should be a couple sentences. You should know exactly what it means, and that's it. And it's going to be very, very clear. We're going to do that very, very early, and actually everything. We'll do it AMA as well with the Jupiter team. So that's our promise to the team and the community. We're going to just over communicate, and we want to have a really successful launch for the community and everyone who supported us since day one. So that's our commitment. We want to end with that because I know that's kind of we're all learning here, but that's the most important thing I've learned just kind of watching the past two rounds. Is just we got really communicate a lot.
Taking the right lessons away from it. Transparency, bringing the community in, growing the pie for all involved. Meow, any closing words before we move over to Luca from Pudgy Penguins?
Hide your grandmoms. Hide your grandmas. Okay. Yeah, she is coming for them, guys. Hide your grandmas.
Shout out to my Nani,
right,
watching at home.
Hide your grandmas.
All right, folks. Thanks so much for coming on.
Yeah, bye.
Pleasure to have you. All right, folks. I know a lot of people have been waiting patiently for our next guest. We're going a little long here, but hopefully you are finding this as fun and as valuable as I am. Our next guest is an ecosystem legend in the kind of grand sense here. I'm really thrilled to have him on. The story is just remarkable for anyone who does not know Luca's story here. Middle school, he's selling Burger King burgers out of his bag to make some money on the side. Then, as a teenager, he drops out of high school, starts a Shopify store selling gold chains that he ends up selling for millions of dollars. And then he goes on to buy Pudgy Penguins for 750 ETH and produces a massive increase in value for the community. For anyone who does not already know, Pudgy Penguins is an NFT collection on Ethereum. Let me actually just pull this up here so you can see it as well. They offer all sorts of experiences, IP licensing, and everything else around these exceptionally cute little penguin guys here. And they've just gone all in. They have 1.3 million followers on Instagram, as you can see. They sell their toys in stores across America so that your moms and your grandmoms and your great-grandmoms can go buy those and kind of get a sense of the Web3 ethic. And they have a giant vision to execute on. Drop a little JM in the chat for Mr. Luca Nets. Luca, how you doing?
Mr. Luca, let's go. My favorite man. Let's go. My favorite. Guys, before I jump in real quick, is that every time I'm sad, I go to the Pudgy Penguins IG page. All right, I'm not even joking. Okay, Ken. If I need inspiration for Jupiter, right? If I need inspiration for Jupiter, if I'm feeling sad, if I want to send something to make a girl laugh, I send them Pudgy Penguins. And so I'm really excited to present to you, Luca. Let's go! Yay! Luca, let's go.
Well, hey Meow, hey Cash, and hey to all the space cadets. Thanks for having me on.
Absolute pleasure, man. Let's start with maybe the kind of obvious question here. What can you say about what makes the Pudgy Penguins community so special? Because they're obviously global, they're obviously deeply engaged. How do you think about what makes your community unique?
I think it's a couple things. I think the first and foremost is they're battle tested. And what I mean by that is, FUD kind of builds culture and FUD brings community together. And prior to my purchase, Pudgy Penguins went through a lot of FUD. And so what I kind of came into was a community that was here because they really loved the penguin and they weren't here for any other reason. And that would really want to be one of the key vocal points. The other one is the fact that the penguin is so universal. Everyone can identify with the penguin. Doesn't matter what region you're in. It doesn't matter what age you are, what ethnic background you are, what demographic you are. You identify with the penguin, which I think brings a lot of amazing different people from all over the world in. Meow, it looked like you had a question. I can keep going, but I think
Yeah,
say something.
I think I've been really curious for a while. Actually, it's like why, like, I mean, there's so much drama behind the Penguins thing, right? You know, both before and during the purchase and stuff. So what do you think? Why do you think the I mean, and you know, many projects don't survive, right? You know, that kind of strife. So what do you think is special about the Pudgy Penguins? Is it that they have a very core community? So what was it? Firstly, right? And secondly, it's like despite why did you go all in despite that thing? And what was something you did to kind of like, you know, bring it back up? You know, yeah. So I'm extremely curious about this. Like, I mean, as a community builder myself, as someone who has actually been through several cycles, right? I'm just extremely curious about this. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's an interesting one. You know, Pudgy Penguins was the first NFT that CT really got involved in. So CT is kind of infamous for missing apes. Penguins was really bad, and it was a really mimetic, like its origins is really like through memes. In my opinion, Penguins was the first ever true mimic, you know, NFT to kind of the CT adoption, right? That's just what CT does best. And for me, it had all the ingredients. It had all of the crypto executive, builder, influencer buy-in. It had an IP that I just believed in. So I believe that penguins are underdeveloped animals in the IP world. And I believe this is the best looking penguin ever made. And I just believe that in my core. When I close my eyes and I think penguins, I know exactly where to go and how to build this into a $10, $20 billion brand. I knew naturally and even purchased it. I was one of the big. And so, you know, I infamously in some of my group chats, you know, with a lot of big players, I told them that this was like the one NFT I actually signaled and called and really got behind. And so from, you know, instinctually, I always believed in the penguin. And rather than just complaining about what I thought the founders should do better, I decided I should just step up to the plate and show them how it's done. And so that's the story.
Amazing. Amazing. Yeah, amazing. That's a great story. So after you got it, like what maybe don't need to go to a long story here, or but what do you think was like one important thing you did? You know what I'm saying? You know, to kind of like to kind of like take it from A to B, you know? Yeah.
Yeah. So the most important thing I did, at least in the beginning, was I knew that I purchased this and I knew that half of the community didn't want me to buy it. So there was actually a bidding war between me and another person.
Oh,
and half of the community wanted him. Yes. Yeah, half of the community wanted him and half of the community wanted me. And so the day the purchase went through, I basically went on a Discord chat with the community and I said, over the next 7 days, I want to spend 2 to 3 to 4 hours a day speaking with you guys. Want you
amazing
vision for Pudgy was. And I basically did that whole week. And what I came in to do got completely flipped on its face. And if I didn't do that, I would have built something that they didn't want. And if I would have built something that they didn't want, I ultimately wouldn't be on this call today with you now. And so the first 7 days and that, you know, 3 to 4 hours of just every single day with to basically learn the vision of what it would kind of frame that in a place that I think and just watching now, Meow, I'm really respecting it. This is not a dictator. This is not your company. This is not what you want. This is what the people want. And it's our job as leaders to execute on that want and desire. And I could have easily said, and I am now the dictator. But fortunately, I didn't do that. I took their back product and the vision that the rest of the community.
I think we might be losing Luca a little bit. Is that just me? It seems to not be me. The man's dropping too much good stuff right now. It seems to be overwhelming his.
Too much good stuff. Like he's dropping so much good stuff. I mean, that story was so good that I think the internet pipelines got plugged. You know, all the alpha like coming through, right? I mean, the internet couldn't handle it, you know, right? Yeah,
that's right. Are you back with this, Luca?
It's the Dubai internet. Is it working now or no?
It's a little choppy. Go on. But yeah, but keep going.
Oh no.
Go.
Oh man, I don't even know where I left off, and I'm in hotel Wi-Fi. I don't know why it's doing this.
Oh, good. No, you
Nah,
were
it's okay.
talking
So,
about. I
no,
think.
okay. You were.
yeah.
I last got you on like dictators, right? You were saying that like it would be so easy for you to kind of get into dictator mode, right? And you're really grateful that you didn't. That's the last thing I heard. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's you know, that I think was probably the first big thing at Pudgy Penguins that kind of curated and put us in the position that we're in today, was the fact that, you know, we built the vision that the community wanted us to build, and we didn't just sit there and build our own vision. I think it's really important that when you're building products in this space, you're building it for the people that want to use those products and not for yourself. I think we see this all the time with founders. You know, they build amazing, innovative, you know, products, but nobody uses it because nobody wanted it and nobody asked for it. And so I think Pudgy, I kind of look at myself as the muscle to the brain that is the community. I am not the one,
So great.
solely starting.
So great. So great. So great. So great. Wow. So many good alpha.
So, yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, I
love that.
I would just say this, right? I think the what you said about spending time like 2 or 3 hours every day in the community and like just and talking to them about like understanding them. I feel in my bones, you know, like not even in my head or in my fucking bones, man. I feel like you really, it's in the devil's in details, right? It's like in when you build a product, the devil's in details, right? The engineering that details, right? And I feel like we're trying to build a branding community, the devil's in the details, right? You know, and you don't get to those details unless you really spend good time and really not just good time, like, but really like you know, listen and talk and understand, right? And I feel like even the process of doing so, like, it's so important for everybody, right? Because you just got the same picture of everybody, right? So I really deeply respect that point, right? You know, and secondly, I think your point, I also love an analogy about brain and muscle, right? It's so terrific, right? It's such a great analogy. So I love that as well. Yeah, thank you. I learned a lot. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's great. You know, I oftentimes say
It's,
that building community is a proof of work exercise. You know, there's not really like any way to quickly scale through it. You just got to put in the time and the effort and the energy. I mean, you doing these 4-hour sessions reminds me of Meow and Chemo and Slorg doing a 4-hour Twitter space around the first vote as well. There's just no substitute for kind of being fully transparent and communicating to people. Can you talk a little bit about some of the core principles of the community and maybe how you've seen community members embody those?
Yeah, I think from a principal perspective, I think we really try to embody the mimetic nature that I think kind of brought us here in the first place. I mean, we definitely want to be, you know, from an IP standpoint, I think Pudgy Penguins is ultimately building a brand that tens of millions of people know and love. And ultimately, I think it's going to be crypto's mascot. And so with that, I think we want to be welcoming. We want to be kind. We would be proactive and active. You know, the one I tell our community members is, you know, we're only as strong as our weakest link. And so it's up to us to hold other people accountable and you know, these back channels. And at the end of the day, like, everyone's open to doing what they want, but there is a recipe for how these projects win. And a lot of it's predicated on community. I think that's just in NFT land. I think you're seeing that in now token land. What I'm kind of seeing here is a paradigm shift, not only in NFTs and in tokens, just the entirety of crypto, where I think being culture is being and is going to start to become more valued than the tech. And so if you want to see, you know, your aligned incentive, you know, win and succeed, i.e., you know, the token that you hold, it is just as much, you know, predicated on your responsibility and your commitment as it is the team and the founders. I think that's just one of the beauties of what's transpiring here. So we have to hold each other accountable. And I think last but not least is, you know, how do we create a community that people want to be a part of? I think this is kind of underestimated, but you know, an entrepreneur, an anecdote that I think will make some sense is, you know, a lot of entrepreneurs will tell you, if you want to be around the 5th million, if you want to be the 6th millionaire, hang around 5. If you want to be the 6th loser, hang around 5. Right. And you want to create a community where people, you know, join and they get value and they can hopefully excel their lives and become like their peers. And so how do we just uplift each other to be the best individuals that we can be, whether we're builders, entrepreneurs, creatives, traders, investors, and really win together.
So
you can tell that the man
I
believes
just said something real quick here, right? So something really important to share here, right? Is that like I was actually going through a lot of like a lot of stuff recently. So recently in the during the recent market downturn, right, last one, I was talking to the community, right, about, and then we kind of read something. It's like you have communities that are PvP, right, PvP, right. It's all about like he who loses, right. It's like you want to kind of like you want to kind of like see like the last person who comes in, you want him to lose, right, because you want to win off him, right. So it's a PvP communities. Right, and unfortunately, many companies are that way, right? It's PvP, right? It's like you're not trying to help each other. You're trying to win off someone else, right? Someone, or you win, someone lose, right? And that's actually the mindset that's very prevalent in many communities, right? So I almost think that the definition, right, of a group financial community, right, is one where it is not PvP but PPP, right? Peer pump peer, right? Not a player pump player. Right, I almost think that where the majority of the community doesn't see the role as getting a next last sucker in, right? But more like, okay, the last guy that comes in, let's help him, right? Let's help him do well, right? Because if you help him do well, everyone does well, right? Obviously, right? So you can have two approaches for a community, right? As a community, you can either do PvP, whereby PvP, whereby you try to take advantage of the last guy, right? Or like PPP, right? Whereby to pump the last guy, right? So I almost think that, to me anyway, I feel like that's almost like the definition of a good community to me, right? And certainly I hope that everyone in Jupiter thinks so, right? We are all like, we are all here to kind of like elevate the last guy into giant community. 1 second ago, 1 minute ago, I don't care. We help him, right? And I feel like, so what you're saying resonates a lot with me, right? The idea that like we're all here to help each other, right? I think I feel like if you can successfully kind of like establish that kind of vibe in your community, you win, right? You win, you won already, because you successfully created a community, right? That is a net gain for the world, right? Does it make sense, right? It's like, if nothing else, you have created a community that's a net gain for the world, and that's great. Yeah.
Win and help win.
I completely agree. And just to say, it's been impressive watching you guys. I've been studying the Jupiter calls here for the last 2 hours since I've been listening to you guys kind of do the thing, and I knew I was going to be on the. Mentally, I don't know of any other protocol that's doing this. So kudos to you guys. You guys definitely get it.
We try.
And I actually have something. I had another thing, but I was going to say, sorry, because my connection's bad, so I'm getting a 5-second lag. But I was going to say, Meow, you may appreciate this, you may not, but I had a saying that I said recently, and I think Jupiter is a phenomenal tech product, but I think community and culture are your X variables, and all tech can get competed away. Right. So, tech is not going to be your moat forever, no matter how good your product is. It's your community and culture that's going to make you win. And I'm really impressed as a Jupe holder to see you doing your thing here, and Cash and the rest of the team. So just wanted to give you guys your props.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, man. I think those are wise words to end on here. Luca, how can people get involved in the Pudgy community? Obviously, Jupiter, mostly a Solana-based community. How do they start to get involved from here? If they like what you had to say, and I'm sure many of them did, what should they do?
Well, I think the little Pudgies might have a Solana bridge here soon. We are our little Pudgies, which is our secondary collection, is maybe that coming. But give us a follow, Pudgy Penguins on Twitter. Give me if you haven't eaten around and you want to join what I think is the best community. Feel free to join us and get one of the NFTs. And if not, we probably have some Pudgy toys in a local retailer near you. If you're in America, they're in Walmart. If you're in Asia and the UK, they're all over the place. So, I appreciate everyone's support. Meow, Cash, pleasure as always, and keep up the great work at Jupiter. You guys are doing awesome.
Thank you so much for coming out, Luca. And thanks for inspiring us so much. Thank you. Good stories. I love it a lot. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thanks so much, Luca. We will catch you soon. Folks, a little breaking news there. The little Pudgies might be coming over to Solana, so keep an eye out for that and much more. So we are already at 90 minutes now. So Meow, how do you want to handle it? Do you want to go into the Cadets corner, or do you want to do a little talk with Chemo, or should we do that in a separate community call?
No, that's Cadets. It's okay. Cadets, yeah.
Cadets corner it is. And folks who have stuck around all this time, Thank you for sticking around. I promise that it is worth it because we all know the Cadets Corner is my favorite part of this call. And this one in particular, because not only do we have a great cadet story to come in, we have a story about kind of all cadets everywhere. So next up is Meow's boss, also known as the Empress of the Jupiverse. Please drop a warm JM in the chat for May. May, how's it going?
Hello, hi, how's everyone?
Tired but excited at the same time, which is mostly, I think, a good place to be. Obviously, my level of exhaustion is nothing compared to yours, May. You and the team put in just a gargantuan amount of work on the No Cats Left Behind initiative. What can you tell the people about this?
We finally completed the compromised wallets rescue, like super happy, and now we have 1,000 more cadets who are joining us for the next votes. Like really excited to get their wallets rescued and bring them back to the family, bring them back to like the staking game, the voting game. Yeah, so we rescued 4 million J.U.P, which is quite substantial. We started from 10,000 appeals, and then we filtered through a lot of those manually, and eventually we rescued about 1,000 wallets. So how did we start? Why did we do all this? It all began when we were discussing the airdrop with our community. I think that was like last year, and when we started all that discussions, and we started getting a lot of requests from our community asking, is there anything we can do for compromised wallets? They have like wallets that were compromised in the Slope wallet hacks through no fault of their own. It just happened, and they have like large wallets with allocations, and now there's nothing they can do. It would be probably wiped from their wallet immediately if we were to release the airdrop to the original compromised wallets. And initially we thought, probably nothing we can do. If you lost your key and multiple people have access to your key, then it's going to be very difficult to figure out who's the original owner. So we're like, no, sorry. But people kept asking and everyone was very sad. So we thought about it again and we're like, yeah, maybe let's try. We're going to try. We love our cadets. We want them to have their J.U.P. We are going to figure out something. So even though there's no programmatic way, no scalable engineering solution for us to quickly figure out a solution, and there's no playbook with this, we're gonna try. We're just gonna try. So we told everyone this is an experiment. We made a website where people could come and authenticate their socials of different types, whether it's Twitter, Discord, give us their email so that we can form an overall picture about their identity. And this identity is difficult for hackers to spoof and to create overnight. They can create multiple wallets, but they cannot create multiple online identities. So we asked for that. We asked for evidence about their wallets, give us transaction IDs, give us any kind of like interaction history you have with your sex, or any kind of like screenshots you can give us. And we went through all of that cat by cat. So yeah, there's no magic solution, no magic engineering hack that we have. It's just a lot of manual work and time and talking to our cadets and asking them for more information until we figure out the truth. So yeah, that's it.
Hey, I have to ask here, did you have any sense what you were signing up for? Did you know it would be this gargantuan of an effort when you said when you started on it?
Probably not. I knew it was going to be tough, but I didn't know it's going to be like 10,000 submissions from a lot of very emotional cats. I think, yeah, that was really tough for me, especially like navigating the conversations. There was like, with this scenario, I think like someone sold their wallet OTC, and then like 8 people were trying to claim the wallet, and everyone was super upset. So a lot of this like funny scenarios showed up.
Yeah, maybe share another scenario. I think you were telling me another scenario about like we had. I mean, there was a 100K wallet, right? There was 100K wallet, and then there were like hundreds of submissions for that, right, or something, you know? Yeah.
No, not hundreds. I think like 8. Just like 8 people trying to claim their wallet, and then
was it 100K one? Was it 100K? The 100K wallet?
I don't remember, but there were some wallets that were disputed by a lot of people. There were some wallets that were sold OTC, which we were not supposed to help. Our original intention was to help like people who were compromised in a hack, like the Slope wallet hack. But then there were people who stole their wallets after the airdrop was announced, and later they tried to use the compromised wallet service to play 4D chess with each other, and yeah, it was pretty messy.
No small feat. And speaking of which, can you talk about that last bullet point here? Because I think this is an inspiring story. It shows the team's kind of commitment to things, but I don't want people to be taking this as a license to do all sorts of silly things.
Yeah, so this is a special edition, special edition compromised cats rescue for all of you first airdrop cats. We hope it made a difference for you, but it's going to be very, very difficult for us to repeat this feat. So please keep your keys safe.
A good cadet always keeps their keys safe, people. So make sure to have a full lock for this upcoming Jupiwary on all of your keys and all of your wallets. May, anything else to say about the No Cats Left Behind initiative here?
Thank you to everyone for helping, for chipping in and helping. I think like WTP was very active in our with help wallet chats, like just helping our community out, answering a lot of questions for people. Nock stepped in to deal with a lot of like emotional cats, and he really navigated the conversations with them. Raccoona as well. Our mods are fantastic and just very, very supportive. So yeah, thank you everyone.
Full team effort. And next up, who we're going to hear from is none other than VidiTrades, who was one of these affected cats. So VidiTrades, let me bring you up here right now. What can you tell us about how the No Cats Left Behind process was like for you?
Yeah, thanks for having me on. And I would just say it was really great to have Jupiter offer something like this. I know just talking to other people who were compromised through the slow pack or another reason, losing a lot of crypto, losing NFTs, it's really tough. You bounce back, you rebuild. And then once we got into kind of this new cycle with all the airdrops and seeing that you have a wallet that is going to be receiving like a lot of different airdrops, but it's compromised. It's almost like having to deal with all that again a second time. So of all the different companies that have done airdrops, none of them have really stepped forward like Jupiter did to make sure that all the community members that deserved an allocation got it. So to me, it just shows the commitment to community that Jupiter has, and I'm just really happy to be a part and to contribute.
Love to hear it. And it's great to have you as part of the community. Can you tell the folks a little bit about your journey as a cadet? Maybe when you got involved with Jupiter and what it's been like as you've gotten more involved with the community over time.
Yeah, so I started using Jupiter just like probably as soon as I was on Solana. I remember being in different Discords and like, needing to do a swap or something, and people just suggested Jupiter to get the best rate. And so I never really shied away from using it, even in the bear. And then, once things started to kick back up, I just kind of got more active in the community, in the Discord, trying to help people out, sort of understand the different ways that Jupiter works and the platforms they offer. And yeah.
Pretty great. And then I have a question that we ask every cadet that comes on this call. What is the cadet spirit to you? What makes a cadet?
To me, it's about collaboration. I know Meow mentioned something about how a lot of communities will be PvP, like you're trying to onboard exit liquidity or get a new sucker in so you can exit, make a profit or something like that. And Jupiter, on the other hand, is like, it's about everybody kind of succeeding together. Like we all have this shared incentive, the working groups, the team, the community to push Jupe forward and grow the pie. And so just the collaborative spirit we have amongst each other is really great.
It's too good. Drop a little PPP in the chat right now. That has got to be, of all of the acronyms that Meow has invented, that has got to be my favorite, I gotta say.
Really? I got so many. Really?
I know.
That's your favorite,
So there was a
really?
comment earlier that we need a glossary for all of the acronyms: ASR, J for J, PPP. There's a lot of them coming through.
Meta,
But
you
this
know,
is
everything, MEF, all the shit, no?
MEF, yeah, it's still going GM, GUF. There's many more to come. Meow, anything else you want to ask Vidi Trades here?
No, I just say thanks. Thanks for coming up. I really appreciate every cadet that shows up. So thanks a lot for that. Really, like it's just so great to hear from anyone that comes to the show, right? You know, because we talk a lot in Discord, right? You know, but it's just really good to have them on a show, right? Yeah. And one last thing to Rob, this thing is that the kind of the big theme for tonight is like you know, no cats left behind, right? You know, and I think we talked about that a lot in the sense that even from the initial airdrop and everything. But I think there's no one that embodies that no cat left behind philosophy more than May, right? You know, right? Certainly, I think you know, when we got started, we didn't know how much work it's gonna be. We know it's gonna be work, but we didn't know that it would go to the extent of her like, reviewing every single submission, 10,000 of them, right? You know, so yeah, so big shout out to May for being there, for being the most amazing cat carer in the world. And then and also a big shout out to VT as well for coming on. Yeah. So thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you. Drop one more W. We've dropped one or two, but I think that May and the rest of the team, the mods and everybody else deserve one more W in the chat. I really cannot stress enough how massive of an effort this was just to make sure that everyone in the community was made whole.
Everything. Yeah.
Also,
It's
Meow
really-
has always been very supportive of all the like no cat left behind like initiatives. He has never said like, oh, this is gonna take too much engineering resource or too much time, don't do it. He has always been like, if it's good for the community, if you feel like, you know, this is meaningful, then yeah.
Yeah, go for it. Look at that. A boss just giving her direct report a little bit of love right there. That's a good boss right there.
Yeah, I mean, May is a great boss. May's a great boss. Yeah, she's the boss. She gains up. Great boss.
Excellent. All right, folks. Well, thanks so much to Vidi Trades. Thanks so much to May for coming out. It has been a long one, but hopefully you agree, a good one. We are at that time now for the not so surprised POAP. Look at this art. Can we get a W for Srijini, the best artist on Solana over here, just making art every week for these POAPs for you all, so that all of
Wait,
your
Srijini did this?
Srijini does all of them.
Oh my god. Sorry.
She's very talented, multi-talented young lady, I gotta say. So big shout out to Srijini. Go ahead and sign this. As a reminder, you'll need to verify your identity in some way. This is how we battle against the bots. We got to make sure that it's only going to real cadets out here. You'll need to have at least 50 J.U.P staked with the wallet that you're submitting. In order to get it, you can just scan this QR code. I'll make this nice and big right here. And then it's just been put into the chat as well. So if you're watching on mobile, the chat is app.bform.cc/bunch of other stuff. You can find that in the YouTube comment as well. All right. I think there it is again. If that is enough for you, Meow, that is enough for me. Any last words before we jump out of this community-centric planetary call?
Nah, can you play a video? Can you play like the cadet video or something? You know.
We can play. How about we play a little Jupiter's Universe, or you want to play the cadet one once again?
Yeah. You have one cadet one. Let me send you right now. Like you know. 1 second.
Which one?